This is a National EMTV News special report.
Your Excellency, many Pacific Island commentators have said that India's relationship with the Pacific Islands has been largely focused on Fiji.
It is true, because large number of persons of Indian origin were present in Fiji, and naturally took our foreign policy where it assumed new dimension. A phrase was added, look east. Now, also to have comprehensive foreign policy, not confined to any major powers, but also to island countries, Pacific Island countries, Caribbean countries. In the recent years, you have noticed, we are having intensive interaction with these countries, and we have institutionalized forum like FIPIC.
Yes.
Similarly, we have those type of forums with Caribbean countries and other least developed countries. And we recognize that Papua New Guinea is the most important country among the Pacific Island countries because of its size, population, natural resources, and I must say, well-established democratic governmental structure which is functioning since it achieved its independence in 1976. So naturally, that we would like to intensify our multidimensional cooperation with Papua New Guinea.
With your visit, could you just describe India's primary interests, in particular, just in Papua New Guinea?
Of course, it symbolizes the interest of India in Papua New Guinea. And I do hope my visit will have its impact and it will multiply even the visits. Though we knew each other for long, Papua New Guinea has the largest volume of trade amongst the Pacific Island countries with India. Our trade volume is more than $200 million and of course, our export is about 52, 53 million and rest Papua New Guineas.
In what other areas can the government of India hope to support Papua New Guinea in realizing its development aspirations outside of what you've already mentioned?
First of all, I would like to identify agriculture. Secondly, I would like to identify education. And in this connection, I would like to identify the area of skill development. Now, let me explain why I am emphasizing particularly on these three aspects. Because we were suffering 190 years from colonial rule. And when we began our developmental process, we found out where the shoe pinches. We found out appropriate technology was not available. No efforts are made by those countries from where we received aids to build our own capacities. Perhaps they had the desire that a vast country of Indian size and magnitude should be dependent on them forever. But thanks to the makers of modern India, particularly our first Prime Minister, who had a very long tenure, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, he emphasized that we must build up our capacities. And for that, the first segment he picked up is education, educational infrastructure, for quality of higher education.
Right.
Skill development was emphasized. Large number of institutions were established. Since then it is going on. Right now when I am speaking to you, we have 732 universities, more than 36,000 degree colleges, and still we are expanding. And we are also emphasizing on development of the skills. People without skill and training is the raw material which is not even the semi-finished product.
True.
Therefore, if we want to have their productive employability to be increased, we must train them, instill skill to them. Third areas which I have also mentioned, India was a net importer of food grains. Our last grain production at the beginning of our developmental planning was 50 million tons, 50. And we were importer of food grains for whole of 50s, 60s and middle of 70s. But today India is a net exporter of food grains. Our food grain production level is varying between 255 to 268 million tons. Many years we have become the highest rice producer, second highest wheat producer.
Your Excellency, what was the change that effected this? What happened that saw this positive change?
No, so what we want, the point which I have not yet completed, which I want, we want to build the capacity of the people of Pacific region countries, particularly Papua New Guinea, so that they themselves can produce. How is it that we have beautiful land, abundant fresh water available, huge resources, but net importer of food grains? So if we apply new technology, and for that we can train the people.
Yes.
We can help your institution to go on research, development on agriculture. How to improve the productivity of the farmers. What type of improved seeds should be more appropriate and suitable here. These are the things where we can help it from our own experiences, we have learned it. Because technology which we have or which we have developed is appropriate to our conditions. And we would like to help Papua New Guinea in building up the appropriate technology which will be applicable to them, so that they are not too dependent on the supply of technology from foreign countries. Skill development, agricultural production, education, we can help you. I understand that some of your, I think, Highlander states, they visited India, and it has been decided to recruit about 200 qualified teachers. And we are ready to send trainers, teachers, doctors, nurses, because that is another area, health sector, where we can help.
Your Excellency, speaking about security within the region, how do you view the future of security cooperation between India and Papua New Guinea, given China's strong military presence in the Pacific?
We have no quarrel with that. We are not in competition with any large countries or in smaller countries. We always believe we can exist, coexist peacefully side by side. That is one of the cardinal principles of our foreign policy. But the security aspects which you are talking of, we are interested in making the sea lanes which are used by various maritime countries for the free and uninterrupted flow of their trade that should be free from tension. That should be secured, safe. And it would be not only free from tension and superpower rivalry, but it would also be free from the operation of the pirates. And there comes the area of security cooperation. In fact, I would like to reiterate what we told during the second summit at Jaipur in August 2015, that we are ready to provide you with Coastal Guard surveillance radar. We are ready to provide you with coastal patrol vessels. And that offer still stands if Papua New Guinea wants to avail of them. We can also provide the trainers. People train them. In our institutions in India, we can send some qualified trainers here to train your people, your coast guards, your maritime security forces, so that in these areas we can build up cooperation. And I have no rivalry with anybody in this, because our approach is little different from others. We believe in building up the capacity of the people whom we want to help and assist, so that they can manage their affairs in their own way with our support and assistance.
Your Excellency, India has shown some interest in liquefied natural gas produced by Papua New Guinea. Is that an area that the Indian government would like to pursue?
Very good. We are very much interested. India is a net importer of energy. Rather, I would like to expand it. I understand there was a memorandum of understanding by our two public sector companies with your LNG companies, Petroleum Ministry, in co-sharing production about 22.5%. But there are many important players in India, both in public sector and in private sector. They are interested in making investment in the downstream products, investment in the exploitation and exploration of the oil, gas, and of course, in LNG. So I do feel this is a vast area where we can cooperate with each other and to the benefit of both these countries. It will help us to meet our deficiency in energy requirement, particularly petroleum crude. Last year, our total import was about 188 million tons of crudes. Therefore, it speaks of the mutual interest in this sector, and we want to explore it.
Is there also room for development in renewable energy? I've heard that India is pushing research and development into that area.
No, we are not pushing anything. Our developmental strategy is, and even we help the other countries, that we are ready to help them in the areas where they want. And here there is mutual interest. You cannot absorb the energy which you are producing yourselves. Some countries, so there we are. And we are telling you that here we can assist you, we can be equally competitive, our public sectors, private sectors. We have the technology to help you, and we can impart skill development in your workers. So this is the area.
Your Excellency, I'll leave you with one final question. Papua New Guinea is a relatively young country compared to India. India has a long history, and it has a long history of very strong inspirational leaders. In the words of one of those leaders, Mahatma Gandhi, you must be the change you want to see in the world. Your Excellency, is the secret to greatness and success only limited to the level of one's hard work and perseverance?
To be very frank, I do believe that two qualities which you are talking of is universally applicable. I do believe anyone, maybe individual, maybe society, can achieve the objective through hard labor, perseverance, commitment and dedication. I am very glad that we have quoted Mahatma Gandhi, which more than often I quote. We expect, it is normal psychology, that others will bring the desired change for me, but it does never happen. Gandhiji taught us that you shall have to be the change, agent of bringing change, which you desire by yourselves, not from outsiders. Therefore, the entire philosophy on which we are building our cooperation with various nations since independence. It was no doubt the oldest civilization of the world, 5,000 years old civilization. Many of them emerged, played very crucial role in the world platform. But today, they are just the footnotes in history. Babylonian civilization, Assyrian civilization,
True, very true.
even Egyptian civilization, but Chinese civilization, Indian civilizations are continuing over centuries, over millennia. But even as that, despite that, as a nation we are new. Because the modern concept of nation states, which Europe first adopted in the middle of the 19th century, and thereafter it spread all over the world, across the oceans. From that point of view, Indian nationhood is not very old, though civilization is very old. So what you are saying, I do believe that any individual or any nation can be successful in its mission through hard work, perseverance, commitment, dedication, and sacrifice.
Your Excellency, Pranab Mukherjee, thank you very much for your time.
It's a great pleasure for me to have the opportunity of sharing some of my perceptions with your viewers. My best wishes to all your viewers and all people, men and women, young and old, of this beautiful island country. Thank you.